What's up, guys? Trail here, better known as Budget Bill, and this is your third stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Tuesday, March the 16th. And I must say, congratulations to everyone that has received their stimulus payments. In fact, there is only a small amount of people who have actually received them. Majority of Americans are still waiting patiently for these stimulus payments to arrive. But I must warn everyone, you must have some patience as we are dealing with the IRS on this matter. And keep in mind, the official day for the economic impact payments is actually March the 17th. But I know most of y'all are just like me. I don't care who else got their stimulus checks. If Ronnie got their stimulus check, Ricky got their stimulus check, Bobby got their stimulus check, and even Tony and Sally got their checks, I want my check too. If they got it, I want mine right now. And I clearly understand how you guys feel about this. So I understand. But I often side with the reality of the situation instead of what's right and what's wrong. At least we are not waiting on Congress to decide on the decision anymore. We've already passed that stage. We can rest assured that these stimulus payments are on their way. Help is on the way, guys. And now we also want to talk about the move for President Biden to waive up to $10,000 in student loan debt. The stiff arm that Biden used in getting the stimulus bill passed is going to help him in the future for waiving some student loan debt from people or Americans. And finally, we have some rental assistance for Californians. I'm going to share with you how to get 80% of your unpaid rent covered. Those are just some of the topics that we are going to cover today. But before we get started, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. And then let's go ahead and jump right into the video. What's up, guys? Now that we have gotten the massive stimulus package relief bill signed into law, stimulus payments have been arriving for a few Americans, but not as many as you would think. There are actually about 158 million households expected to receive these stimulus checks, and so far, a very small percentage has actually received them. The reason being is that this is just the first wave of the stimulus payments rolling out the day after President Biden signed the American Rescue Plan into law, and only those with direct deposit information on file with the IRS will be receiving a check during the first couple of weeks. But a lot of people are furious that they have not received their $1,400 stimulus checks. And now that we see people posting online or even in Budget Bill's comment section down below, others are wanting to know what's the holdup on them receiving their stimulus payments as well. And I clearly understand, guys. You want to know why Sally and Felicia already received their stimulus payments, but you haven't. Where's my money, right? Well, technically, the ones that have received their payments so far are actually considered early. The official stimulus payout date is actually on March the 17th, which is tomorrow. The IRS allows a certain time period after legislation is passed in order to sufficiently get payments out to the American people. Now, I told you on the last video on how you can go to the IRS.gov's website and use the Get My Payment tool to find out exactly when your stimulus payment will be coming. Well, as expected, the IRS did not properly test the tool, and it appears to be giving everyone the message that either their checks haven't been processed yet or that they are not eligible to receive a stimulus check. But I want to let you guys know that the IRS is currently updating this tool, and hopefully sometime today it will provide more accurate information. And as soon as that happens, I will update you guys, so you be sure to follow along on this channel so that you can find out when that tool is actually updated. But again, don't get worried about you not receiving your stimulus payment if you are eligible to receive one. They will be coming very soon. The direct deposit payments will come first, and then the mailings of physical checks or debit cards will follow. But it takes time for those to be mailed out to you, so you have to have some patience here, guys. Now that stimulus payments are hitting bank accounts and being processed, the Biden administration and other Democrats are moving forward with the next task on the agenda, and that is the infrastructure bill and a slew of other proposals. Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, and Bob Menendez say a piece of the $1.9 trillion stimulus relief bill has a piece in it that will make it easier to cancel federal student loan debt.
But today I want to take some time explaining how it helps our nation's students. First of all, the American Rescue Plan provides substantial emergency relief to colleges and universities weighted towards those colleges and universities without million-dollar endowments. Fully half of that funding must be used for emergency financial aid grants to students, at least $20 billion nationwide. And of course, many students will benefit from the $1,400 checks. Any student with a young family will benefit from the historic expansion of the child tax credit. But these emergency financial aid grants are another way that students with exceptional need can access relief. That's not all. The American Rescue Plan also sets the stage for President Biden to deliver incredibly meaningful student loan forgiveness by making all types of student loan forgiveness tax-free through December. At the moment, debt cancellation is usually treated as taxable income. So without this provision, forgiving a student's debt would stick them with a tax bill.
Now, we all know about the consistent mentioning of the canceling of up to $50,000 in student loan debt, most of that coming from progressive Democrats that consistently urge Biden to consider it. But senators would like to see Biden forgive $50,000 in debt through an executive order. However, President Biden has only committed to trying to cancel $10,000 in federal loan debt, which Biden is still urging lawmakers to pass legislation that would lift $10,000 in loans for Americans. But there's an interesting provision buried in the stimulus relief bill that would make it easier for President Biden to cancel a large chunk of student loan debt. The stimulus relief bill that was signed last week allows for loan forgiveness tax-free through 2025, which would eliminate any surprise bills that students or former students would receive if student loan debt was canceled. Elizabeth Warren said that student loan debt is crushing millions of Americans, and President Biden has an opportunity to fix that with a stroke of a pen. This American Rescue Plan will help pave the way to cancel $50,000 in student loan debt. But as I said, guys, if they do decide to cancel any student loan debt, it will probably won't be $50,000 worth. It will most likely be $10,000. But let me know your thoughts on this down below. I'm curious to hear your input on this and whether you have student loans and you would like to see them waived by President Biden. Now, in other news.
So she expressed a little bit of skepticism when it comes to having a wealth tax. She said that Biden is still open to it, the president, but even without one, wealthy Americans will likely face tax hikes. She didn't seem super enthusiastic. Do you think a wealth tax is even possible when Joe Manchin exists?
Oh, yes, I do. Look, let's remind everybody what the wealth tax is, and that is this is for fortunes bigger than $50 million. Your first $50 million is free and clear, but your 50 millionth and first dollar, you got to pay 2 cents. And 2 cents on every dollar of wealth above that till you hit $1 billion, then you got to add a little bit more. This would affect the top 0.1% in America, and it would be a way to raise about $3 trillion in revenue. Keep in mind, Joe Biden ran on raising taxes on the people at the very top and on giant corporations. Taxes wouldn't go up on a wealth tax for 99.9% of Americans. You just can't do much better on raising taxes only for those at the top. There's not another plan on the table that says that.
President Biden is set to create the first major federal tax hike in almost 30 years. This is after he successfully pushed the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Sources are saying that Biden is trying to keep his promise to the American people that he made during the 2020 campaign. His promise includes 3 things. 1, to increase the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%. 2, increasing the income tax rate on people making $400,000 per year or more. And number 3, expanding the estate tax and setting up a higher capital gain tax for individuals making $1 million per year. Former President Trump introduced his tax cuts in 2017 that largely benefited corporations and wealthy individuals. And now Biden plans to roll back those tax cuts. He actually planned to repeal those on his first day in office. But as we all know that the first day is a little bit challenging to get things done on your first day at work. Democratic lawmakers have expressed concerns about supporting a tax increase, but Biden and majority of others believe that the tax policy needs to be fair. So the question is, could we see a tax hike in the near future presented by President Biden? That's going to be very interesting to see how the Republican Party responds to that. And finally, we actually have some rent relief aid for those that live in California. They have opened up a new initiative called Housing is Key that is aimed at helping people with financial hardship as a result of the pandemic. Even though that they are trying to push out Governor Gavin Newsom, the state says that they are committed to keeping families housed and want to assist on some of the past due rent money. If you guys go to the website housing.ca.gov/COVID_RR, and don't worry, I will include a link down below in the description. But if you go to that website and then click on Overview at the top, you will see that the rent relief program is designed to help low-income Californians by helping pay unpaid rent to landlords. This program has about $2.6 billion in federal rental assistance aid to help Californians. It says landlords who participate in the California Rent Relief Program can get reimbursed for 80% of an eligible renter's unpaid rent between April the 1st of 2020 through March 31st of 2021, if they agree to waive the remaining 20% of the unpaid rent during that specific time period. Eligible renters whose landlords choose not to participate in this program may apply on their own and receive only 25% of the unpaid rent between April the 1st through March the 31st. So it's obviously better if you get your landlord to apply for this, as they would receive 80% of the lost wages. If they choose not to participate, then landlords would actually be able to apply on their own and only receive 25% of the rent. So if you live in California and you are running behind on your rent, you want to take advantage of this new program. And I would act on it ASAP, as the money could go very quickly. And remember to try and persuade your landlord on the benefits and to apply for this program, as it benefits both parties. If your landlord chooses not to participate and he just rather evict you, he or she will be out of way more money. So it's best to apply for this program while you can. Any of you guys watching this video live in California, or are you going to apply for this rent relief program? Never mind guys, you don't have to tell me that information. That's just too personal. Just go ahead and hit the like button for me instead. I'll know exactly who you are. Anyways guys, that's all I have for you today. This has been your third stimulus check update news for today. Now if you enjoyed any of this information or found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot, and it tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community, and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.